What's going on, everybody? It's GameUnboxingReviews here, and welcome back to another LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2 news update. So in today's video, we're going to be checking out a brand new screenshot of Medusa, as well as gameplay of Wakanda, and lots more. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so first up, Stephen Sharples, who is of course the game director at TT Games, has recently confirmed some very interesting things. So first up, he's recently confirmed that Star-Lord's Jetpack will of course be in the character creator. So you will be able to make your own character and put Star-Lord's Jetpack on that character so you can fly around. Very, very cool. We also now know that Battle Arenas will be playable with just one person. So you can play Battle Arenas by yourself and fight against the in-game AI. Personally, I think this is brilliant because obviously you're not going to be playing with someone all the time. When that person's gone home, maybe you want to keep playing the Battle Arenas. So it's great to know that you can play them by yourself. Now the final thing that Stephen has mentioned isn't necessarily a confirmation but more a tease. Basically, someone asked if we'll see Random Crimes return and he said wait and see. Now that is very exciting because I love the Random Crimes in LEGO Marvel's Avengers. They weren't perfect, you know, there were some other things I think that could have been added to it to make it better, but I think this time around they will do that. And I'm very excited to see if Random Crimes will be different depending on which area you're in. So maybe, for example, in Noir, maybe you fight 1930s gangsters. In the Old West, you fight outlaws. You know, stuff like that would be really, really cool. Tons of possibilities there, and I can't wait to see what they do with Random Crimes this time around. Next up, we have our very first in-game look at Wakanda in the Chronopolis HUB World. Now, in this gameplay, we also get a look at Black Panther. We don't really see much from him, but it's still nice to see Black Panther in gameplay in LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2. Now, one of the things I want to bring up right now is basically online, I've seen some comments from people saying they like the look of the Chronopolis HUB World, but they think it looks unfinished. They think there's a lot missing from the world. Well, TT Games have confirmed that what we saw at E3 2017 was in fact a work in progress build. So this is nowhere near finished, guys. Once you see the Chronopolis HUB World in November, it's going to look completely different. It's going to look so much better. You think about all the things that are missing from the gameplay that we've seen alone. We haven't seen any quest characters in the areas. We've only seen a few civilians. There's no vehicles on the road. You know, there's no races. There's so much missing from it. So it's obvious it is a work in progress build. It is nowhere near finished. Now, personally, I would love to see when the game is actually finished, I would love to see there actually being vehicles driving around the map. So if you're in 2099, you have futuristic vehicles. If you're in Noir, you have 1930s. If you're in Egypt, maybe you can ride a camel. Little stuff like that would be really, really nice additions to the game. Next up, thanks to Arthur Parsons, who's of course the head of design at TT Games, we now know some new details on the Inhumans. So first up, while we pretty much know everything about Lockjaw, obviously we already found out last week that he can teleport, Arthur Parsons has recently said that that's going to be useful at different points in the game. So I guess that confirms that we will play as Lockjaw in the story missions, and that teleportation character will be used at certain points in the missions. Very cool, because obviously in LEGO Marvel Superheroes and LEGO Marvel's Avengers, I don't believe either of those games there was a teleporting character in the story missions. There were characters that could teleport outside, you know, with free play and things like that, but not in the story missions. So it'll be interesting to see how they do that in this game. Now, Medusa, on the other hand, plays an integral role in the game, as players will need to travel to Atalan as part of the story campaign. Now, obviously, Atalan won't just feature in the story missions and the story campaign, it will also be a location that you can visit in the Chronopolis HUB World, as of course we could see it on the map in the Chronopolis HUB World demos at E3 2017. So it's great to know that while we will be able to revisit in free play, we will of course see it in the story mode as well. I'm really excited to see where the Inhumans, you know, fit into the story in LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2. Why they're here, why they're helping. It's all really, really exciting. And of course, we already know Medusa's abilities in the game. We saw last week she can actually attack with her red flowing locks, and it was pretty cool. Really, really crazy but awesome animations. Now, this last bit of Inhumans news should get some people excited. So obviously we already know that Lockjaw and Medusa and Atalan will star in the game. We will be able to play as those characters, and we will be able to visit Atalan. But what about characters like Black Bolt and Maximus? Well, Arthur Parsons has said that given that we are going to Atalan as part of the story campaign, and with Lockjaw and Medusa as playable characters already, it could well be the case that other Inhumans may make an appearance in the game. But for now though, everyone will have to wait and see. Now, for me, I was already pretty certain, but after reading that, I'd say there is a 99% chance that there will be more Inhumans in LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2. I think Black Bolt and Crystal are almost guaranteed to return because, of course, Black Bolt was in LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 1 and Crystal was in LEGO Marvel's Avengers, so there's no reason for them not to return. But it'll be interesting to see if Karnak, Gorgon, Triton, and Maximus the Mad will be in the game as well. But to be honest, seeing as how there is an Inhumans TV show on the way, and they're all set to make an appearance in that show, those characters of course, I'd say that there is a very strong chance that they too will all be in LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2, because Marvel will definitely want to promote those characters in this game. But of course, like Arthur has already said, we will just have to wait and see. And last but most certainly not least, the final character that we need to talk about is of course Agent Venom. So Agent Venom is now confirmed to be one of many characters that will be featured in the free play quests in the Chronopolis HUB World. Now this is really great news because Flash probably doesn't feature in the main story, so we will at least get to, I guess you could say, work with him in the Chronopolis HUB World. So that should be interesting. No word on who's going to voice Flash just yet, but I'm sure they'll do a really great job. Now then, Arthur also said on the Marvel website that Flash might have superhuman strength, so hopefully this means he can lift heavy objects and smash crack Lego. I believe in LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 1, Venom, and I mean classic Venom, of course, Eddie Brock, he could only lift vehicles and heavy objects and things in his big figure form, but in LEGO Marvel's Avengers there was a lot more of characters being able to lift objects even if they were a minifigure, so hopefully that returns in LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2, because I much prefer that. Now, the most exciting thing about Agent Venom is that Arthur has recently revealed that he may have a trick or two that the team hope to share with players later on. So, what does this mean? Well, the key words here are trick or two. Now, knowing Agent Venom, if I had to guess, then I'd say that Arthur is probably teasing that Agent Venom will be able to transform into Venom Space Knight, which would be an absolutely incredible addition to LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2, because Agent Venom already looks like so much fun to play as, but if he can transform into Venom Space Knight as well, that would be amazing. And of course, with the Guardians of the Galaxy locations in the game, I would love to be able to play as that version, because that was more, I think that was more of the Guardians of the Galaxy version of Agent Venom. So if you can run around the MCU locations as the comic book Venom Space Knight, that would be so cool. But of course, remember, Arthur said Agent Venom has a trick or two. So maybe he can also transform back into Flash Thompson. I personally think that would be really cool, because what was probably my favourite feature in LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 1 was the fact that Peter Parker could transform into Spider-Man. I absolutely loved that feature. I was blown away when I very first saw it, and even today I still love seeing that transformation every single time I press triangle. So hopefully they add more to that in LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2, you know, being able to transform Venom into Eddie Brock, Carnage into Cletus Cassidy, or of course Agent Venom into Flash Thompson. Now obviously at the end of the day these are all just my theories, and I could definitely be wrong, because I'm only stating that trick or two could mean transformations, when in fact it could mean something else entirely. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for this video. One last thing to mention is that LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2 will be at San Diego Comic-Con this year, which I believe is next month. Now I don't know what they're going to share at the event just yet, but I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Alright guys, so I want to thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for lots more videos real soon, and as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.